Welcome back. I'm Justin Velasco, and you're watching Field Dreams Club. Today, we're starting a podcast. I know I've done podcasts in the past, but it was just me by myself, and that was just that was like a couple years. That was like 2 years ago, or a year ago. But this time, I'm gonna try to have guests. Of course, there's gonna be some podcasts where it's gonna be by myself, but I'll be talking about certain topics, so it won't be as boring. But today, we had the first guest um, for the podcast for the Field Dreams Club, and I guess is
Me.
yeah, he goes by me. No, he goes by
Uh, when I was, I guess it's your boy Joe.
so yeah, it's your boy Joe. We do have history, because we are. I'm also part of his group, which is called It's Your Boys Studios or It's Your Boys.
It's your
Um,
boy Studios.
and we did a podcast on there.
A couple
We
times.
a couple times, yeah. Um, how do we describe that podcast?
It was fun.
No, how do we describe it? How do we talked about it in the car? How do we describe it? As a
It was a group.
it was like a
It was a group thing. Talk about a lot of topics, a lot of joking around. Um, but yeah, not really. At the time when we were recording it, wasn't really a Christian podcast, even though we said we were Christian. I mean, but now, I know now. Whatever we do, we have to do. Praise the Lord or whatever we're doing. So now when we bring it back, it'll be a Christian podcast. So whenever that comes back, it'll come back soon. But whenever it comes back, it'll be a Christian podcast and everything. We'll calm it down on the cursing and stuff. But yeah, that that's what I have planned for it. It's gonna be a Christian podcast, still talking about the same stuff, but less cursing and wild stuff.
yeah, we did curse a lot. But we're trying. I've been trying to stop cursing. It still comes out. I've been slacking, not gonna lie, but that's what we're here. We gotta keep going, gotta keep pushing. Um, well, this is different from like what I had in my before. It's not like certain questions I want to ask. It's not something like that. It's just a regular chill, sit down vibe. You can listen to this in the car. We'll talk about some of the history of your dreams club. And I said it before, but this is actually official. Um, so we're growing big, and I gotta do my part. I know I've been slacking too on this. Just work it in a way, and then I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to. I try to think too many steps ahead. I should be focusing on what I'm posting now. Uh, so, but yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I haven't been posting because I've been trying to think way ahead in the future. I gotta hold my horses a little bit. Um, but before we get into the podcast, we have a shop now. We have clothing brand Pure Jeans Club. It's all Jesus related clothing lines and all that. So check it out, purejeansclubs.com. You could also get a membership with us. Basically, everything that we don't feel confident saying on YouTube, we'll post it on purejeansclubs.com, and you'll be able to sign up. It's $1, so $1 a month to month, cancel anytime, and yeah, no extra hidden fees. Um, but yeah, so I would like to talk about um, Ryan Garcia. Um, there's a lot of talk about him being a Christian, mostly from Javante. Um, and basically, what Javante said was he can he's not really a Christian because he drinks a lot, he gambles. He said, right? I saw this. Ryan he did say this. He said gambling makes him feel at peace. Um, and all that. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about it, man?
The gambling part, you're not supposed to gamble. I mean, Geronte was right about that one. You're not supposed to gamble, but at the same time, none of us are perfect. So like, he does that doesn't disqualify him from being a Christian. But as long as he knows that he's gonna get his conviction and everything, he's gonna get convicted of that sin. He's probably gonna know that. But I'm not gonna say he's not Christian just because he does this one thing. That's just singling out. Not really supposed to do that because we're not perfect. No one's perfect. We all fall short. So like, but for Javante. I mean, Javante's not religious or anything, but for him just to say this, and that, he's just basically trying to single out one thing. You're not really. That's not really part of the game. But are you supposed to gamble? No. Are you supposed to curse? No. I curse all the time. I ain't perfect. I'm still a Christian.
Do you think we should be boxing or doing combat sports like facing each other, like beating each other up? You think that should be something we should do, or do you think it's good because if some people do only have the only option to provide for
Mm,
their family, or
it's good until you actually start. That's the only way to start providing for your family. That's the only way. But at the same time, if you're doing it as a Christian, you get big like that. You're putting more people. You're putting more eyes onto the Lord. So like I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I mean, you are hurting people and stuff, but you're not supposed to either. But I mean, he's doing it for a living. He has a big following. And he's praising Jesus and a big following. So I mean, I don't know. At the same time, he's glorifying Jesus, God, while he's doing it. He came out to the Christian song. Some people make fun of him about it. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing because at the same, he does have a big following. He can, if that's what God's plans for him to do, that's his plan. That's to get more eyes on him, on the on Jesus, and that's a good thing. But yeah, it's kind of iffy.
I do feel like if I was, I could always say that if I was in that position, but I feel like if I was in that position, if I was a boxer like Ryan, say if I was Ryan, I feel like once I made a certain amount of money that I could provide for my family, I would just leave the boxing, and then obviously the boxing with his following, that gives it a lot of opportunities. He could start his own brand, his own whatever, you know, um, do it through Christ. But I don't know. Like I said, I can't really talk because I'm not in that position. Um, but that's what I feel like I would want to do. But I'll get big, and then it will lead me to other outlets, and then whatever outlet that leads me to, uh,
Yeah,
I'll yeah.
yeah. If I was in that position, I got big. If I became a boxer and everything, and I got big like that, I'd probably stop boxing. But
Because then I always think about boxing, like I want to box, but then I'm like, there's a lot of side effects. Like once you get older, boom, like your brain, you gonna feel it, well, everything you gonna feel it once you get older. And so basically, you box your whole life, and then once you're done, once you're on your way out, you'll be hurting a lot. So
yep,
it's just one thing to think about if you want to become a boxer. Maybe you do want to do it now, but in the
the
future,
long term
long
effects.
term, yeah, it's gonna be over. Um, but yeah, I mean, I did some wrestling. Some people may know, but did some wrestling middle school and high school. I feel like he said, we were talking about it, but I feel like when I was wrestling, I was too into it, and like I used that. I want to say I was too. I guess I was too into it. I did start it because I had nothing to do, and I wanted to become a wrestler. Like I wanted that to be my outlet to become a professional wrestler, like WWE and all that. But I felt like I was too into it because I was all I would think about like every day, and like I loved it because I like slamming people and all that. But it did take over me because I did become something went inside of me. It was like demonic, and then I would do humming sounds, whatever, and it was I just got too into it. And then next thing you know, this is just a summary. Next thing you know, we had a tournament. Um, and then once I was wrestling, I got on the mat. I lost the first match, lost the second match, lost the third match, lost the fourth match, which was the last one. And I left that building without any wins. I felt like everything just went out the window, and like I didn't really, how I feel like I wasn't even there. Um, so I don't know. I just after that, I did question a lot. Like, is this even my thing? I don't know. I feel like I was just too into it, But I don't think I'll go back. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll coach, but I wouldn't make it my. I wouldn't. I'm not. I wouldn't idolize it how I idolized it back then. I was putting that first before everything. So yeah, I mean, sports is everything is there. Everything you get into is dangerous. You got to make sure You're not putting up for God, for family, and all that. I was ready to drop everything. I was ready to, like, if they offered me like a contract for WWE, I would have just took it, and just went there and left and probably, I probably would just did that for a long time and I wouldn't care. I would leave. I'll sign that contract right away, boom, and just leave. But now it's like, I feel like feeling at peace is what I want now. I want to help people find Jesus. I feel like that's what I like. It's not what I want. I don't know. It's what I want. It's not what I mean by want. I mean it's like it's not something temporary that I want. I want this because I actually like it. I actually like helping people. Actually, I'm not sure. I think I've actually helped some people. Like people, there's two people I believe. They DM me on Instagram. They're like, "Thank you." They actually give me motivation, whatever. Um, so I mean, I do like helping people. So I mean, I like the feeling, and with Jesus, the feeling doesn't go away. Having peace, it doesn't go away. Um, what does go away is like if you want a dream job, you get that dream job. Like a year later, you can be like, I don't like this job. I gotta wake up, go to work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever. So like all that goes away. The shoes, you may like that shoes at some point. Like I was so happy to get the Air Forces. I still like the Air Force. Don't get me wrong, but like I was so happy. I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear it. Boom, boom. And then now that you have it, it's like all the happiness goes away. Even with like a console, like the PS4, all that. Just think about it, like PS2,
Haven't
everything.
even got a PS5. I got an Xbox Series S. Don't even touch it. I touch my Switch more than I touch that.
Yeah,
It's like I'm gonna PS5 though, just because it's PlayStation. But like other than that, like I don't,
yeah.
when I get the PlayStation 5, I'm probably barely gonna touch that thing too. But it's just something that I don't know. I've had every PlayStation console, so that's something that I want. Not a need.
So yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. And now I got different outlets. I got my friend. I got both of my friends that go to church. So I got different outlets. I want to be more out there. I want to post more in here because I feel like people actually, they actually get help from
These are not treats.
the carrier, but I feel like people actually take some stuff from this channel. They actually take it and like they take it with them. They actually it changes them. Maybe it changes them, whatever. So I want to keep doing that. I feel like I've been slacking a lot, but I feel like I want to keep going because they say if I don't post something today, someone's probably going through something today right now. They're struggling to find God, or they're with the demons, or they're dealing with demons. What if one video I post today, it helps someone?
Yeah.
So I mean, whether it's in my car, whether I'm just walking outside, or, I gotta be. I want to, how I want to praise the Lord. I want to spread the word of God, because it's gonna help someone out there for sure. I don't want to, I just don't want to, yeah, not be posting because I don't feel like it. And this posting, I'm posting because I want to help people. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Also, we got a new guest,
yeah, the carry here.
Tico. Tico.
You can't really see him. You can see his body. There you
There he
go.
is. We got a new guest in the building.
Yeah, I didn't make him up, but um, but yeah, I mean that's what I want to do. I feel like I want to help people, with the Lord and everything.
Yeah.
I've been watching Richard Lorenzo Jr. And I actually like all the stuff he says. So
These are not treats, man. Yeah, I like stuff that he says. I mean I told you about him, but
yeah, he did. I did see him on TikTok. He was at the gas station with that guy.
mhm.
I think it was the Mexican guy. And then but I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't really watch. No, I didn't really watch his videos or whatever. But now I've been watching it. He says a lot of good stuff,
The
man.
thing
Like,
that got me was because thing was a TikTok video I saw about the new age stuff. I used to be part of the new age stuff, so it was kind of weird because I was still claiming I was Christian, watching new age stuff like Solo and Adi, Spiritual Soul he goes by now. I was still watching his channel, believing stuff he says, about sun gazing and sun gazing, um, the vibrations, frequency, the chakras. I was like kind of getting into that stuff, but I don't know. Something was just telling me this stuff ain't right. Did my own research, and I realized I'm like, dudes are going for rocks, for peace of mind or whatever. Worshiping the sun. That's basically what you're doing. It's when you're sun gazing. I did my research, and I was still. I mean, in Solomon, he was. They respect the Bible and all that. I never did, even when I was going through that little phase. But I just did my own research, and I just realized, I'm like, oh no, all that is bad. All that is wrong, and it's basically Buddhism. That's what it really is, Buddhism. So I realized, oh, that's not it. That's not it. That stuff is not it. I basically had my own. The Holy Spirit convicted me of that. I was getting into that stuff. And I was like, this stuff is not right.
But I feel like it was a blessing that we followed Solomon Ali because I would see like he'll say something, oh, this is gonna happen in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and I seen a couple of weeks happen, and like you lied again.
Yeah, that was the big problem. That is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like,
That was kind of a blessing in disguise because like that one person he would be like he would lie, like
none of that stuff.
kind of like it.
None of that stuff happened. I was at one point. I was just watching. I was just watching it to be like, oh, let's see what other propaganda stuff he's gonna say, because it was not. And then I just started researching more, being like, because whatever he would say, I would like Google search it. What does the Bible say about this, and that? And the answers are just in the Bible. You search for answers, you're gonna get the answers. But if anything, that's when they started disrespecting Jesus and all that. Now they don't. Now they have something called Christ consciousness, whatever that means. Almost every religion out there now, when it comes to Christ, they don't really disrespect it. They give their props to him, but they don't. New Age, they call it Christ consciousness, where you reach this level of perfection or whatever. Islam, he's the most perfect prophet. He didn't die though. He's not the son of God there, but he's their most perfect prophet. They don't follow him; they follow the other one. But the Buddhism, same thing. They do Christ consciousness, all that stuff. But I don't know. But Christianity is the most disrespected one though. So I don't know. That's just something that kind of makes me believe like, well, not 100%. It's like, well, it's the right one.
I did hear. I just started hearing about that. I didn't really pay attention, but yeah, Christ consciousness. I was like, what? Oh, but yeah, but that guy he speaks a lot of good stuff. Richard Lorenzo. I was like been watching his videos. So I hope if you're watching this, Richard, trying to have you on a podcast or trying to ask you some questions that like I'm curious about.
I'm really curious about everything he does.
Especially the
because I don't know. I'm always iffy when they're like putting their hands on people's heads, casting out demons. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that, man.
That I can kind of say something because I've been to church, and I did go to church with my friend, and I did go up to the front and like to release everything. They did that. They put their hand on my head. I did feel something. I felt like he didn't really touch my head. He was like this, I believe. I don't remember, but I did feel something like a heat over my head. Like it was like heating up. And that's the one, I did feel that. But I like that whole church that I visited, the whole day I visited church for the first time, I felt empty. I felt good because I was there to empty everything out. And then when I did go up to the front, there was other people there. There's a lot of people just they were praying and they're praising, and then like the demons were coming out of them. Like I'm not gonna lie, I did see that. That they'd be crying out loud and everything. So I mean, that part I could say for like praying all that, like going there to church by yourself, like being there by yourself, praying on the floor knees, like crying out. I feel like that's real.
That's real. I
And
mean,
then
that happened to me, but but it
yeah,
someone didn't
yeah, whole deal, yeah,
do that. I was by myself. God brought me to my knees real quick. That was in my old apartment. I lived with my friend. I was home alone, but yeah, God brought me to my knees real quick then, and yeah, I get brought me to my knees, all that. But the same thing that what happens to them when the demons coming out of them, I experienced that, but it wasn't someone
yeah, doing that,
doing that
yeah.
to me. But I experienced that, and ever since then, stuff just started changing.
And one thing
It's still changing to this. It's still changing slowly, slowly, because I was deep in sin back then. So it's still slowly changing, changing, changing. It's not overnight.
the one thing that does creep me out is when Richard he does do the videos where like he's like when he goes up to them he will like let them know what they've been going through. That's one
And that's
like
one thing. That's how I want to encounter Richard Lorenzo. Like,
yeah,
I want to see him. I want to like, yo, what you know about me already? Because you know about all these. I want if he mentions one thing, then
yeah.
he got him. He got it 100%.
It's kind of creepy.
Like I will fly out to him. I don't care where he's at, Florida, Texas. I'll fly out to him just for the. If it's Florida, I'll fly out to him. It's easy, easy trip. 2 hour flight. Boom.
Yeah,
Meet him up.
I'll do that too. I ain't gonna lie, cause like, hey,
And I do believe God still speaks to people to this day. Like, I mean,
that's for sure. There's a lot of stuff that happens. It's not weird, but it's like it's cool. It's
yeah.
not a coincidence. Like it's not luck. It's not none of that. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can't explain. There is proof that Jesus did exist. There's a lot of the history, the science.
Yeah.
Science. There is. He
I
did exist.
believe miracles and all that, but I'm blessed to be where I'm at today. The job I have,
Yeah, some people don't have
I'm
a
blessed
job.
for it. I'm blessed with the job that I have and everything, and this job is leading me to what I really want to do after. So it's in that right direction. Um, but yeah, well, I want to feed tigers and stuff, so I feed one right now. But
And me, I feel like I wanna. I guess I've been saying this, but I wanna help
Chloe,
people.
Chloe.
Oh,
But
she's
yeah,
in my bag.
um,
But I want to help people like through Christ, like help them find Jesus, because I feel like Jesus is coming soon, and like I've been hearing that a lot from my head. Jesus is coming soon, and like I want to take as much people as I can with me,
in his
or with
name.
us, because I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like it's like I want to do it because it makes me feel good, and
yeah.
like
Maybe feel good that people are on track with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanna convert people to myself. Like at a function once I tried to, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can get overly aggressive when it comes to talking. That's something I gotta fix. But especially when I get like defensive a lot when people start bashing or saying anything negative towards like Jesus. That's probably my thing. I don't know. I get defensive a lot. So like they might not, but I don't know. That's something I need to work on. But
man, it is hard though.
I just get defensive, and they see it firsthand, and they're probably like, oh, he's a crazy Christian person or something. But I'm not. I just don't like it when people disrespect Jesus or something like
Yeah,
that.
but
Like that's
especially what you've been through, like with your relationship too, like
yeah.
so. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I just can't. It just
A lot of people they say they're Christian, but it's like they don't really talk like, or they're too afraid to talk about it.
that was my problem for a while. I don't, I'm proud now. I'll say out in public anything, but I would talk to females like even like as recent as like a year ago. I've been talking to females and I wouldn't even mention I'm Christian. So like little like not even like right from the beginning. I wouldn't even. They'll say something a little second mark. I'm like, oh okay, but I would still talk. So, but now now that's the first thing I mentioned. And I look for the reaction. I'm like, I'm like, I'm Christian. They're like, oh, like, but it depends on the oh. Like, it's like, oh. Then I'm like, I'm not gonna continue forward because there's no point in that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we shouldn't focus too much on like finding a girl
Christian.
that's Christian because it's a beautiful journey. Because let's say if she can't find me,
Hey,
but
my thing is like if I do find a chick and then I convert her, that's good for me.
yeah, yeah,
That's a more I feel more I feel more better that way.
yeah.
You know, going to a church is not bad or anything finding, but like at the same time, I don't want to go to church just for that purpose. You know, because even when I'm at the gym or at work, I have a switch in my head so that even if there's a female there, boom boom, I'm not paying attention to that. But it's like off work type stuff that I would talk to a female. I would even mention I'm Christian. It's just I don't know. I feel like she's gonna think I'm whack or something. Now I don't care. Like I'm Christian. Like I'm Christian. Yeah, I believe in the Lord. So I mean I don't. Okay, so as long as she has some type of like faith in the Lord, I can work with that. I'm like okay. Boom. I know what I'm pretty sure I know what I can do here. It almost worked one time. And the thing is, sometimes when I talk, like one time I was talking to one, I was saying I was saying stuff that like I didn't even know I knew. And I have my boy David that I talked to. I told him what I said. He was like, "I didn't even know you knew that stuff." I was like, "I didn't even know I knew that stuff." And he was like, That's the Holy Spirit talking through you." I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean probably because they didn't really feel like I was the one. It didn't really feel like I was the one talking." But everything I said was like true. Like it was biblically like everything that I said was true. So I don't like yeah. I don't know like we had family members still to this day that think that like if you go to church and just because the person you're sitting next to or whatever went to the club the night before or going to the club after or doing or they're sinning after they feel like they feel like they shouldn't be going to church. Like I'm not going to that church just because this person is doing this or this person did this. I'm like you're like you're not there worrying about other people. You're supposed to be there worrying about the Lord.
Yeah.
Like if that's what you're worried about at the church, then that's your personal problem that you need to fix.
Yeah, you can't go there
And they
judging. You
didn't.
can't get judging. That's
Yeah,
it. You
they're
can't.
going there just straight judging everybody. Like, I'm like, bro, that's your personal problem that you gotta fix. They didn't like when I said that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I mean, that's true though. That's your personal problem. You know, but people they just gotta, and it was cool.
Wait, because I think it's the streets. I think.
They think it's street. It kind of looks like they're bad.
Come here. She touched my pet. I guess we could talking about. I don't know. For me, I mean, I'm not perfect. You know, I could be talking about Jesus and everything, but I'm not gonna lie. I do have fallouts, and I do gotta work on that. I feel like when times get tough, that's when I fall out. It's not. And I still don't even judge him. I still don't do that. I just don't focus on it. I'm not lying. You know, I'm being truth. Uh, so I mean, that's one thing I got to work. I think it's gotten better. Like, it's legit gotten better. Like I've been, like even when I was down, I've been going up, with God. It just takes a little like just just saying the word Jesus, or just be like, thank God I went through that struggle, because there's kids across the country, in this country, that go through a lot. But there's kids in this country and kids across the country. They go through a lot, or everywhere else, like worldwide, they go through a lot. I mean, they don't have jobs. They still got to get water from the the the,
The river or
the
whatever.
river.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
they still don't have a toilet. So I feel like me complaining about my job, being like, I don't know, whatever that you complain about, just there's not. You should be happy about that, because people, they will wish to have a job. So. It's one thing I think about, think about parents too. Like my parents, my mom, my dad, they both came here with nothing, completely nothing, and they somehow made us, and
They made it happen,
and then like they somehow, some way, they had no money. Having kids with us, they had no money. They still somehow, some way
Made it happen.
I don't know, somehow, I don't know, but
I still question to this day. I'm like, how was I able to get a PS2, a PSP,
yeah.
PS3,
So I feel bad though when I look back on it though.
360? Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, dang, that was probably her last cent, her last couple dollars.
Yep.
And I was already being an ungrateful kid. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and
Yeah.
But you grow up, what comes around goes around, and this happened.
I feel bad because I'm like, man, even with food, whatever. My mom, she told us, she was like, my dad, I'm pretty sure like he will feed us instead of himself or herself. I'm like, that's where it hits hard. I'm like,
Hmm.
wow, like legit. Like I was enjoying my food, whatever, and then I see, a couple years later, you figure out that like,
Yeah, that it comes back full circle.
yeah,
I don't have a kid, I have a cat. So it's a couple times when I lived on my own, my last couple dollars, same thing, came full circle to me. He didn't have no food. I didn't have no food. It was like 3 days before payday, but still, he didn't have no food. I didn't have no food. I decided to feed the cat instead of me. I bought him food, and boom, boom, boom. And I worked at a pet store this time. I could have easily stole some food from. I was a manager, so I could have easily sneakily done. I knew all the tricks, but I didn't do that. I just bought it. My last couple dollars. Boom. The next 3 days, I didn't eat nothing. Legit. Besides like cookies or whatever that I had at home already, but like I didn't eat no food. Roommate at the time, he didn't know that because I didn't express myself a lot, and that's still my problem. I don't.
Tigo,
Tico, come here. I don't. I still don't. I still don't express myself. I don't express how I feel most of the time. I'll say it after I go through whatever I go through. Then I'll say it. I don't know. I just can't. I have a problem of. I have a problem of
expressing yourself.
expressing myself when I'm going through a certain situation. After I'm done with a certain situation, then
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
what I went through. I don't know. I just can't do it right in the moment.
I do want to touch on this. There is a side of me where like I do feel presence of God, or yeah, and then like there was one instance where like I'm not sure if you remember, but you had your car had spinned. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
you did a spin, and then you told me, I think the day after or something like that,
Yeah.
and I told you, I remember because I was at work, I was in the gym, I was still working at the front desk. I remember just standing there, I was like, it was like in the morning. I remember I was like, I think I should tell him, or I feel like I should have told him, like someone was telling me like tell him that like to like, well, I forgot what I think it was like Jesus loves you or whatever.
Was
Like,
that me working at Amazon still?
I think so. But you were in your Mustang. I remember you were. I think you were at Rock Creek. You said
No,
or
that was not. That was not the Mustang. It was the Rock Creek one. I had my Hyundai still.
oh, the Hyundai. You said you did like a spin, but you didn't know how. You didn't crash into nobody.
Nope. And it's Rock Creek the way it is. That's always a busy street. Like no matter what time of day it is. I'm going to work, going to Virginia. It's like one, two, three. It's like 4 lanes. I'm on the left lane. It wasn't raining. It was about to rain, but it wasn't raining.
It
The
was in the
road,
morning.
yeah,
That's crazy.
the road might have been a little wet, but it wasn't raining, and the road wasn't wet enough to where like
Spin
it
out.
was slippery. I'm just driving. I hit a bump, and the tires were not bad either. Everything was like straight. I don't know where the shit goes. I mean, the car goes zoom in a whole circle. The last lane was a lot of traffic though, because they were exiting. There was a lot of traffic. My car lady stops like an inch or like almost, depending on another car. It's spinning in a circle, and then I don't remember turning the shift knob to park or none of that. I was just trying to control the car, not to, and then it just boom, it stopped. And then when it stopped, the car, the shift knob was on park. I don't remember turning to park. I could have been me. I don't know. But and yeah, I just looked up. I thanked Jesus, and then I just reversed and went to work.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that. I didn't remember. I didn't know it was in the morning because that was when like it was like around like 7 o'clock or something like that.
Hmm
7 or 6 o'clock. No, it was like 7 or 6 o'clock something like
But
that.
one did happen in Amazon when I worked in Amazon. I was going to work. It was a snowy day. It was my Mustang, but it wasn't a snowy day. There was still a little snow on the road. I was good the whole time. I make the exit to go into the parking to almost go into the parking lot to where the vans were at. And I wasn't driving fast. I was still going pretty like probably like 15. I make it out, boom. I go, I drive. Next thing you know, my car it does the same thing. It doesn't spin same thing. This is in the morning like 9, probably like 8:30. But this is in Maryland. So boom, I go into the road and then my car spins again. It could have gone. There was like a little tiny ditch. It could have gone in there, but it stopped right before the ditch. But this time it just stopped, and I just continued going. I was like, "Oh shoot!" That time I was good. I was still good in my faith. I was good in my better in my faith than I was when the first time it happened.
Just say close the door.
So I just thanked Jesus right there. I was like, "Ooh."
Just like close the door. Hello. Just like close the door or put the volume down.
The car spun there. That was the Mustang. There was a little distance in the railing, so it almost went, but it didn't. It stopped right before the ditch. So and then it just kept driving, and then went into the and then started working. I was delivering for Amazon at the time. Did that for 2 years.
Also, I did do Amazon too. Here's a story. I did Amazon because I want to leave. I wanted to leave that job at the front desk at the gym. I did it, left, and then well, I didn't really leave, but like I worked on a Saturday, which was good because I didn't really get my 2 weeks and leave right away. I worked on a Saturday. I was like, let me work on a Saturday. My mind was like, let me test it out, see how it is. Basically, it was a hot day, all that. Got did the interview, everything, got the job. So on a Saturday, first day of the job, and I was out there, just
Little cleavage going on right there.
it was out there, and then I was like, oh, this is easy, or whatever. The only issue I had was just finding the houses, but I figured it out. And next thing you know, I keep going. The van is hot. They don't joke when the van is hot back there. It is like like I'm serious. It's like you could cook something back there. Like I'm being serious. And like I kept going, and then next thing you know, I started getting thirsty. And I did bring water with me, but it wasn't cold. It wasn't in a cooler or whatever. I drank it. It was hot. It didn't really do nothing. So kept going. I was like, my mind, my one side was like, let's go to the store, get some water, whatever. But my other side was like, I've quit so much, like when I'm so close. So like I'm not quitting. So I listened to that side, and the other side was like, just go to the store. But I listened to that side. I was like, you don't know quit because quit so much, so you gotta finish it. So that's what I did. I finished it. But then let me tell you, when I finished that job, when I finished, put the van back to the warehouse, whatever, go to my car, I went to a gas station. I got some soda, some water. I got everything, drunk it all. And then I was dehydrated basically. I was like it was very bad because my mouth was dry. Like there was no saliva, there was nothing in my mouth. And like when I opened my mouth, I feel the dryness and everything. So I got dehydrated, and then like the next day, well, I drank water, but when I got home and all that, the next day I started driving my personal car. I was all was blurry. Everything was blurry. Not gonna lie, like it was blurry. Like that's how bad it was. It was blurry for like a couple of days, and I was really dehydrated. It did to myself. I listened to that side where like it was like finish this because you have to accomplish. You have to finish it. You have to. You can't quit because you're right there. So I don't know. Maybe I probably should have went to the store, but I didn't want to finish late because I was like I had a little bit of stops. People were like, "Oh damn, he got it easy," and I see I was sweating a lot, and then I didn't want to give up, and then everybody look at me like, "How can you finish that little stops?" So I finished it, and I was dehydrated and all that, so I quit. First day I quit. I didn't tell them. Technically, I got fired because they sent me a letter, but. Uh,
He just never went back.
Yeah, he called me. He didn't call me the next. I was supposed to go on Sunday again, but I didn't show up. He didn't text me nothing. Nothing. I didn't get nothing. And the Saturday came. They texted me Saturday, and then Sunday they're like, "You haven't showed up your last two work
Sleep.
days." And then they didn't say nothing. And then after like a couple of weeks, they're like, they get sent me a letter like, unfortunately, we had to terminate you, something like that, because you didn't follow protocol, something like that. And basically got fired, but I technically quit. I just didn't tell him. But I went back to my front desk job, and now I got a new job. I'm still technically with this old company, but it's a whole different, it's a whole complicated process. But like I said, sometimes you gotta listen to the other side. No matter no matter how bad you feel, like every time you quit, when you get there, you have to. Sometimes you have to just for your health. Health is wealth. So, and you gotta be prepared. Sometimes you do it to yourself.
Yeah.
But I was blurry for like a couple of days. I was really dehydrated, really dehydrated. I was like, wow. I finished it. So I don't know. And that one thing, it came from like me wanting to finish it. It came from wrestling because that was from the tournament. I wanted to like accomplish. Like let me make it. Let me make it. I kind of knew in my head. I was like, this is gonna be my last day. When I was sweating all that, I was like, this is my first and last day of Amazon. So, but yeah, I completed it. But I was like, let me finish strong. It was my last day, first and last. So, but yeah, I got fired from Amazon.
No, I quit.
Nah, he quit. Yeah.
I quit for what I thought was a better job. It wasn't. They sold me on their hopes and dreams. I fell for it. You know what I'm saying? It was a moving company, but it wasn't what on paper they paid more and everything. Weekly pay, benefits, all this, but I wasn't making nothing. Like $300 a week, 200 a week. One time I checked, it was 100. I'm like, dang. I
Damn.
was just doing Uber Eats. I was making more doing Uber Eats every single day after doing all the heavy lifting. So I was like, I'm not making enough to pay my car. My car note. I'm done with my car though, paying it off. Like, I wasn't making enough to pay my car note, my phone bill, and rent. I wasn't making enough to do none of that. But with God, there's always a way. There was always a way. I was, I was making like 200 a day doing Uber. No, not 200, 100, like 100 to like 150 a day doing Uber Eats. And I would do it at night. Because I didn't like, I don't know, I didn't like delivering during the daytime for some reason. I just didn't. So, and I would do 2 hours, make my 150 or 130, just 100, and go home. Now, it wasn't every day I was making. Some days were slower, some weekends were slower, but I was out there hustling, hustling, hustling. But I basically paid my car note with that and everything. Grateful for my mom. She helped me. She would send me money sometimes, and I felt bad. I'll pay her back soon though. But yeah, like she was sending me money sometimes, I felt bad because I didn't tell nobody that I was broke. I barely had $1 to my name. I didn't tell nobody I was broke. Not even my friends. They never knew. They didn't know what I was going through. But like I said, that's my problem. I didn't tell nobody what I was going through until after I got another job, and then and then I was back up, and then that's when I told them. That's my problem. I don't ask for help. I just can't. I don't like asking for help. I don't know. My mom didn't know I was. I never told her I was broke,
I
but
think she knew though.
she must have known somehow, but she would just generally send me money, and I was like, oh, cool. That helped me pay my car note, my bills, give me something to eat. Boom, basically homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I lived here, but barely, like barely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like everything. There's been moments like the Amazon job. I don't know. I was really dehydrated. I don't know how I went through it, but I went through it. You know, I was pretty dehydrated, and I got water from the station, the warehouse. I told you, I was like, I was on the phone. I was like, "Did they have water there?" And he said yes. I was like, "Bet." And I saw the coolers. I got the water. I got like a lot of water. And I chugged that too. And I was. My
I'm just
H2O levels weren't good. You know.
I'm just happy I don't do Amazon no more. I
Yeah.
mean, it was fun for like the first year. Hmm. You're just not going nowhere there. It's just you're just stuck at that. You're stuck delivering. It's not really a career thing. It was fun for the experience, but that's it. That's the only thing I recommend it for.
Yeah.
For experience.
And that's why once you like you're so happy for that job, that happiness is gonna go away. You know, you're guys gonna have the same situations and be like, well, I want something next, I want something else, and then like you're stuck. Same every job you just get stuck and like you're not happy no more. If it's the managers, either it's the way the work is, too much work, whatever it is just like getting and it's the same situation. I feel like me. I want to work. I want to help people out because I feel like when I keep helping people out, I'm not bored because a lot of people go through different things and like we all struggle and then it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing once you get from the struggle to up. So I mean, so I gotta somehow some way I'm gonna do it and then I know God's gonna somehow some way he's gonna hopefully bring
Man, I
everything
was
or show me everything. He's gonna show me. He's not gonna bring it because
man, I was praying
yeah.
every night when I was doing that, living off of Reese basically. The the other job was just there just to be there, but the moving company I was there to be there, but I was praying every single. I mean, I still pray every single. I'm not. I mean, I can't say every single night because sometimes I fall asleep mid pray. I'm like, but or sometimes I'm like, I'm about to pray, and the next thing you know, I'm waking up. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't pray. But I end up praying that morning. So, but no, but I'm those are like those. I was praying like a lot during asking God for guidance during that time. But
Yeah.
yeah, it
Well,
was.
I do struggle with reading the Bible. That's why I
That's
bring almost everywhere with me because I
that's
know.
where I struggle at. Like I'll do a good 1 week, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna continue that next week, and I don't continue.
But like I want to read it. It's like I'm gonna read it, and then next thing you know, like I bring the Bible with me on purpose because I'm like, there's gonna be a time, place where I'm just like not doing nothing. I want to be on my phone, whatever. I'm just gonna. I feel like I'm somehow just gonna pick it up. Maybe it might be today. Maybe after this podcast. But I just bring it with me because I want to read it. It's just like something holding me back. I do feel like there is something there still that is like just the demon in me, wherever it's from, it's telling me not to pick it up, but I want to. And the thing is,
The
thing with that is like I counter it because my
well,
everything on my Instagram, everything on my phone is all about God. So like I still know a lot about the Bible, and like
that's why I say it's like I don't read it, but then I do at the same time because like my TikTok, my Instagram, my feed is filled with Bible verses and everything. So like it just coincidentally happens to be with everything I'm going through. Like at one time I need a better relationship with God. And then all next you know, my whole TikTok feed was like my For You page was filled with Psalms, verses, and all this. That's the one for to have a better how to have a better relationship with God. So, and then it's just so technically I don't, but every day I'm hearing a verse from the Bible, no matter what. Someone's reading it on TikTok all the time, or Instagram all the time. So it's like technically I don't. I'm not physically reading it, but I'm always listening to someone reading like at least a page out of the Bible every single day. So I don't. So that's
One thing, it's not creepy, but it's kind of weird. Not weird, but I don't know. It's beautiful, but sometimes I would not know this verse in the Bible or whatever, or would not know whatever it's saying, but somehow, some way, I get it in my brain. But somehow I never read that. I never read that verse before, but I know the verse. I was like, oh, that's in the Bible or whatever. And I go to the Bible and it's right there. I'm just like, it's not weird because it's a beautiful thing, but
it's Holy Spirit right there.
The Holy Spirit, and it's like it's great. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had the Holy Spirit in me, man, before. So, I mean, I want it back. I want it back. I mean, I fell out, and I want it back. There's nothing I would trade for that feeling.
Yeah,
nothing.
I ain't perfect, but I fell out before too. But you just gotta realize it's not God's fault. Anything that you go through, it's not God's fault. Everything happens for a reason.
Crazy, like everything.
Every encounter you have.
Like I say, for like if you struggle with like
not every
trauma,
encounter, but like every encounter that like strikes you, that happens for a reason. Every encounter that you remember that it's like that happened for a reason. Like someone you met happens for a reason.
And then I feel like if it's trauma, let's say for your parents, let's say yeah, we all got to be with our parents basically at some point, but at least the generation before. But I feel like that trauma or whatever, it may seem like my parents beat me up, whatever, like a lot. But that trauma you had, you learn from it. Let's say if you have kids down the line, you know what to do now.
You know what to do, not
to hate your kids for no reason, or to whatever, everything you've been through.
Send them to bad schools,
Yeah, I mean, but now
Yeah.
Now you're okay, man. I want this for me. And I know, and my mom, she feels sorry for everything she's done, for everything. Because I know she told me before, she's like, I feel sorry.
Yeah, it's like.
And she was. Yeah, I'm not gonna say her testimony because that's not me. Yeah. So, but she's been through a lot. She said sorry. Maybe not to everybody, but she said sorry. And that's I'm kind of like my mom too, because I'll say it to one person, but then like for some reason it doesn't come out to the person I want to say it to. Sometimes I don't know. It's just weird things how to put it, but this shyness basically. It's basically shy. I forgive.
I forgive. I have forgiven a lot of people. Mostly everybody already by now, whether they know it or not. But I've forgiven pretty much everybody. Yeah, I have no grudges against nobody.
That's one thing Christianity is about, like believing.
Whether they know it or not, whether they don't believe me or not, I forgive it. My thing is, just because I forgive you doesn't mean I have to talk to you though.
Yeah.
Like I forgive you, yes, but like I don't really want to talk to you. Like I won't avoid talking to you. I'll talk to you and everything. Like, but I'm like I don't. It's not like I don't wanna. I've forgiven you. But yeah, that's it. Like don't. Stuff can't go back how it used to be or whatever. It's always gonna be an awkwardness. But
that I would counter with it can go back to how it used to be before. There is things like with God, through God, families have been repaired.
Yeah.
Like, whereas like to the point where like people don't believe it's gonna happen. Like there's I mean there's a lot of things. So I mean maybe we'll see.
Yeah, maybe family can be repaired through God. Yes.
Relationships too. I mean there's a lot.
Relationships too. Yes.
But it's tough though.
It's tough. I mean,
if you want it, then it's gonna happen.
I've forgiven the fam and everything. But like, yeah, I forgive you in my heart, and yeah, it's cool and everything. But that doesn't necessarily mean I have to, yeah,
Talk to you.
talk to you. Yeah, like I'm not gonna go out my way to talk to you. I'll talk to you if you talk to me and everything, but I'm not gonna go out my way to talk to you. That I mean, for me, in my heart, you're forgiven. But like things can go out the same, in God's hands. Everything can go back to normal. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, that's how I just feel. I don't know. I forgive a lot of people. Like I've forgiven a lot of people. I'll tell them to their face, yeah, I forgive you. No hard feelings at all. Like if I see that I need help, I'll help them. You know. But yeah, that's just how I feel on that.
Yeah, it's like I want to help people, but there's ways because you can't just try to help someone and like be like Jesus, he's the way. Like to a Muslim, you can't really like
But
Jesus,
yeah,
he's the one. He's like that's it. You can't
that's
really.
the
It has to be like very. You could talk. The way you could start is talking about God in general. 'Cause that's what
that's why.
kind of connects in a way. I guess
Yeah.
like God, like you could talk about that first. Like with George Shango and Devin Haney, I was shocked. I was like,
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a Muslim friend, and we would just talk about God. We wouldn't even talk about,
yeah, but Jesus,
there was times and stuff where
and yeah,
differences, but like at the end of the day, even like when I still DM him on Instagram, he's in Turkey now. I still DM him on Instagram. We just talk about it's just God, like you can be friends with non-Christian people, no problem. As long as y'all have like similar morals and believe in God, everything's straight.
yeah, because the morals are still there. It's just yeah,
Yeah,
it's
everything's like
just yeah.
straight. I don't have no problem with no other religion or anything. But the same thing, yeah, you can't just go to someone like Jesus. I'm not talking to you. Like that's not.
Yeah,
You can still be great friends with someone who's Muslim, New Age. You can still be friends with them. You just know, like, but when
don't fall into their trap.
don't fall into the trap that when they start talking about their own thing and trying to rebuke your stuff, and that's a whole different story. But you can still be friends with. Jesus was friends with all sinners, so it was like
I think he chose all sinners. He chose
he
them.
chose all his
Yeah,
disciples
sinners. Yeah,
were sinners. So I mean, it's like when people are like, "Oh, you're not Christian because you're like," I guess with Garcia, there some fans are mad because he's friends with like Javante now, and he's supposed Christian. I'm like, well,
mm-hmm.
Jesus, his friends were
Yeah,
not
sinners and all
were
that.
sinners and everything. So it's like,
I forgot. There is a reason why. I forgot what it was, but they did. I think it did say why. But why he chose sinners and all that. But hey, I mean, that's coming close. This is coming close to the end of the podcast. It's probably it's almost like 2 hours, I think.
oh,
But hey, if you want to see this more, like if he's here on the weekend, if he's here, or if he wants to do,
I'll be
I'm gonna
here.
do it.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be like special guests every time. Maybe it's just us all the time, whatever. Um, but yeah,
bring David next time or
David, I
something.
could bring David on. He's a Christian friend, so well, he's a brother in Christ. Um,
Christian or fellow brethren,
so I mean,
brethren.
yeah, I like talking about God. I get really into it. I do ask a lot of questions.
Me
Like,
too. So
you
I'm
know,
not gonna say what I do for a living, but I help people a lot
yeah,
for what I do. I go, I meet different people every single day. Some the same because it's but at my job I've met a lot of Christians, a lot of Muslims, and the thing is, at the job you're not supposed to talk about
yeah,
religion or anything. I don't bring none of it up. It just happens sometimes, just out of boom, out of nowhere. Like they'll ask me, "Hey, are you Christian or something?" I'm like, "Yeah," and and then that's when I get backtracked because we're there talking for who knows how long, and then I forget. Sometimes I just forget I'm at work. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go. But yeah, uh, I met some guys giving me books. Is the Islamic people they give me food. I don't like But it's cool. I don't like taking food from strangers and anything, but I don't want to be mean either. So I'm like, okay. Especially when they're handing me like, oh, they make some like good little donuts. But yeah, they'll give me food and I'll eat it because obviously look at me. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who you encounter. Every encounter happens for a reason. That's all I gotta say.
There's been a lot of people like since this is the brand, this is the shirts I made. This is the kind of the knockoff one because I got it from the mall because I was too excited to get the excited to get the actual the design.
I got the real one.
But he got the real one. Well, I have the real one too. It's right there, but so put it on. But these are the designs. So Jesus loves you at the end. But I've been ever since I've been wearing it, and they've been wearing it. Almost all every single one of us, even David, he's had like an encounter like where people will come up to us like, hey, nice shirt, or not like And then the mall today, some lady at the shoe store, she was like, hey, I like that. Like I like that. Whose company is that? And I was like, it's mine. And it was, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm gonna be prepared next time because I want any give a business card. This is just gonna say with the website. Just give it to them. Boom, website. You got the website. And I try to make these cheap as possible because I'm not in there for the money. Like I'm in there for the hell. I want to bring people in.
Bring people in, spread the love.
Because once people go on the website, they're like, oh, that's too much money.
Spread the love of Jesus. I mean, as a Christian, people might think you're whack because you don't do the worldly things. Go clubbing, smoke, go out to get drunk. I ain't perfect. I mean, I used to smoke CBD, but at the time, so my thing was, I'm not getting high, so it's fine. No, that was wrong too because I was using it to feel relaxed, to feel at peace, but I got convicted because you're not supposed to do that. The only thing that can make you feel relaxed and feel at peace is God. I can't use something else to feel relaxed and feel at peace. So yeah,
Don't do drugs.
yeah, don't do drugs.
Or don't drink. Like the one thing that's why I read Richard a lot because he says he's like don't drink. He says everything I say basically. He's like don't drink, don't smoke, none of that. That's why I like him because I appreciate that. Don't drink, don't smoke. I haven't smoked or drink ever in my life. And that's the thing. If you are even a virgin, I'm a virgin, or you don't drink or smoke, there's nothing that anybody can say about you. Family members, there's nothing because they lost their virginity. They drunk, they smoked. You can't say that. You can't like. I'm proud to be. I'm proud to be a virgin. There'll be a time in the schools to be like, I would lie. I'd be like, yeah, I lost my virginity, but
Yeah, I used to do that all the time. I used to do that all the
yeah,
time.
everybody does that, but like
I used to do it all the
just to
time in
act
school.
cool. But then like now, growing up, I'm God. I'm like,
Boy, I used to lie all the time. I'm lying through my
if
teeth.
they ask me now, I'm like, I'm a virgin.
Bro, that was in middle school. And there was a version like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would just make up stories.
So be proud of what your virginity, your
I didn't lose mine. I was like,
smoking, none. Like don't be proud of that, man, because that's the right way.
it's the right way. It's always good to save it.
If someone makes fun of your shoes, don't they just be happy because
it don't matter. It's just a materialistic thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
like it's good because like let's say if you are making money, you don't buy the Jordans or whatever. You had like maybe like Fila's or whatever,
Skechers
maybe
or whatever you want to wear.
like you are doing the right thing, but you're saving your money too, in a way. So hey, I mean,
Doesn't matter what you wear, man.
it doesn't really matter.
It's a materialistic thing. It is. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is nice to look somewhat decent,
But
it's not the end of the world if you don't look good.
So I mean, like, hey, don't be ashamed of what you are, Don't get it twisted with the other with the other agenda. But I'm talking about like clothes, material, all that, like or like virginity, Be proud of that. That's the right way. You're in the right direction, So I mean, I haven't smoked none of that. I was close, never did it. And
I vaped. I smoked. Didn't smoke weed. I done the edibles. Don't do edibles. Please don't do edibles. But I smoked. I ate edibles. CBD. Didn't actually smoke real weed, like the THC. But I ate it in the edible, in the gummy. Like this is not. This is just normal. Um, but yeah, don't do that. Especially in the edible, don't do that.
I don't do that. But that's the message. Don't fall into what your friends are doing. You know, the drinking, partying, none of that. Don't fall into it because
Don't fall into it.
it's
I
not the
mean,
right thing. You know, and you'll be rewarded. You know,
yeah.
you'll find
If
God. You'll
if you want to go to the party, you can go to the party. But just remember to stay strong and don't fall into temptation.
man. Also, I've been there like the music, like that too. You gotta watch for your music. I mean, it does affect you. Even though you saying it's or it does, like I don't I'm not doing what they're doing, but like it does affect you. You know, I mean, it does affect you, man. I don't know. So just don't fall into what other people are doing. Do what you do, and do it through Christ. You know, as that's for life. I'm about to start rapping. No, but I've been trying to rap, make music more, but and you need some good beats. If you're a beat maker, you know, we collab, you know, but do something. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this podcast. It's a very long podcast. But that's good because you know maybe you're in the car going to work or doing something that's a very long drive. Go ahead and listen to this. So yeah, that's Feel Jeans Close. Justin Velasco. It's your boy Joe, and that's it. You have anything to say? Follow my Instagram. Links will be in the down in the description below. Me too, but in the description below, and Feel Jeans Club description below. Um, yeah, that's it. You know, I don't know why you guys still here.
These are good.